guys, in this part we are going to talk about the future courses structure. We are going to see what kind of courses we are going to release and what is our approach toward them. So let us talk about first the common course problems students usually have. The first problem relating to no lab. And if you don't have a lab, you will not be able to practice or gain some real knowledge. You will understand the topic, but you will not be able to perform it by yourself. Our approach in here is to create network from scratch, and in time we are going to add more servers, more devices to that network according to the level of the course, so you will be able to do everything by yourself. It is not a ready network that you need just to perform that part of technology which you are going to learn. Instead, you are going to build everything by yourself, and then you will be able even to improve your skills, not toward only the technology, how to be deployed and implemented, but also toward troubleshooting, because definitely you will get some errors, some problems, which you will need to solve them. Then we'll talk about course technology integration. Here some students, they are, for example, study Microsoft and then they study Cisco, and they are not sure how they are going to integrate that, how they are going to use both technologies in a single network. Here we are going to solve that, and in the next slide we are going to see how we can do that. Now in point number 3, we need to talk about basics. Most of the courses, they have basics functionality. They show you how to improve something or how to install an app, how to deploy a software, but usually it's not going to show you the full picture. Like that part which is working in my network, how I am going to use it in a professional level. Here, our approach is to solve this problem by producing a storyline. So you will start from point A to point Z through a series of courses, and then you will gain enough knowledge to go beyond, far beyond basics. Other thing is, in point number 4, lack of industry experience. Because of that limitation in basic courses, then what about the industry experience? What kind of scenarios are in there? Sometimes, even when you try just to deploy a role or a service, in courses is going to show you how to deploy it in a perfect environment. You have maybe just a few virtual machines. You don't have some real devices to go with. You don't have devices running for years and start to get some errors, some registry problems, some networking difficulties. So in here, with our storyline, with our kind of courses which we are going to provide, this point also is going to be solved. Then finally, one of the questions each student has is what is next? For example, I just finished my MCSA 2016. Then what I'm going to do next? What I'm supposed to study? Do I need to study Cisco? Do I need to study, for example, toward SQL, virtualization? Do I need to keep in Microsoft, or I need to study VMware? What about Citrix, Linux? These kind of questions most of students have. Here our approach also is going to solve that. So let us go to next slide and we will see how we can solve it. Then by the end of this presentation, we will understand fully how we are going to answer all these questions in one of the best learning environment. Now see, this is currently our storyline for Windows Server 2019. Here, if you take a look now, we have some official courses like Windows Server 2019 Storage, Network Active Directory, upgrade from 2016 to 2019, and also, of course, Secure Windows Server 2019. These kind of courses are official. Number of courses 5, but we have another 5 courses. They are just customized to improve the learning experience of students. Here, for example, as you see in course 1, for the absolute beginners, they can start their first step by creating their own network. They will start by creating a first virtual machine. They will learn how to do that, install operating system. Then they are going to build their own network. Now, in step 2, there is a gap between official courses and between what you really need to learn. Course 2 is going to close this gap, because if you just start learning MCSA 2019, and the first course is storage or Active Directory, what about the previous topics which you need to learn? For example, how you are going to deploy the first domain controller. This is not going to be explained. You will see in that course, once you start it, immediately everything is in there. The domain controller is deployed, all computers and servers joined to the domain, accounts being created, and then you're just going to learn part of technology which you are going to study it. It's better to take it step by step. We need first to see what is help desk, job description, what kind of tasks are in there. how we are going to implement help desk tasks in a network, then we are ready to start our MCSA journey. And once you finish MCSA journey, then what about, for example, the most common tool, which is a very powerful, the PowerShell. PowerShell, which you are going to see in the official courses, is going to run only to show you how to do something, like how to install a feature, how to remove it, how to access to a remote server to do something, these kind of things. But usually it is just a single line of command. But what about a real script? How can I, for example, deploy a script file which is going to bring me back a report about free space in all servers in case I have 100 servers? How can I deploy a PowerShell script to change the local administrator password in all PCs in my network and the number of PCs, for example, 1000 PCs? As you see, these kind of scripts are not available in the official courses, and here we need to have some real different scenarios from industry, and then we are going to see how we can deploy these scripts and how we gain more control over our network. Now, when we'll talk in number 9 about Secure Windows Server 2019, well, security is not only relating to a single product, which means here now when you are going to use a Windows Server 2019 in a network, you cannot tell everything in that network is a Microsoft product. You might have some Cisco devices, some security devices, you might have some even different technologies, Linux, Citrix, whatever. All of that can work in one network. So how you are going to integrate the security in such an environment? That's why, again, with this course, which is number 9, we need to go beyond the scope and see some examples from real life. And these examples are going really to integrate security in a real network. Now, in course 10 troubleshooting, had you ever heard a troubleshooting course in Microsoft? You will not find such course, I tell you. So that's why this course is really important, because here again, it is a customized courses. We are going to generate some common errors. We are going to see what is the approach to find first, what is the cause of that error. Then we are going to deploy the right solution for that. And also this is going to help us to understand how we can originally plan a network. And in that network, we have all the steps to avoid the problems, like by providing high variability. And what type of high variability? Do we need to go through failover clustering or NLP? These kind of things need also to be discussed in course 10. Now, once you finish all these 10 courses, as you see, I can tell you now, you are a good system administrator. And this is how our approach is going to be also in more advanced courses after that. If I assume this is triangles for Microsoft, here we have two approaches. The official courses, I mean by official courses, you will learn, for example, Microsoft Server. Then you will learn, for example, SQL. Then you will learn beside it, for example, Exchange Server. So here you are learning technologies. But the industry courses, the customized one, is going to increase your knowledge about certain topic. When you are going to learn Microsoft Windows Server with customized courses, you are going to take your skills high, and that is going to make you as a unique admin or even unique engineer in the future. Once I finish these 10 courses, what I need to do next? What is next I am going to study? Let us go to the next slide, and then there we are going to see what is exactly our approach in our learning method. Now let us see, this is your network, and in this network you are going to deploy all the 10 courses which we have. Now in here, according to Microsoft requirement for now, we are using a Windows box. It is just Windows Server 2019, has two network interfaces, and is going to work as a router. So what if I need to use a real router to see how can I use Cisco technology in such a network? That's why our approach later is to switch Windows RTR with Cisco routers. And here I'm not going to assign only one router, but we need for each branch network needs to has its own router. And this is important. So we'll see how we can deploy those routers in such an environment. Can we achieve such thing by using virtual machines with some other virtual apps or emulators? And the answer is yes. We can use VMware with some other virtual emulators to achieve such goal, and we are going to use a real operating system, not a simulator. Good. Then, once we reach the level that we need to start to learn more technologies, here we can start adding on our main network more devices like SQL, Exchange, and that again is going to maintain our knowledge and increase it, because all the base which we have when we study 2019, now we build above that by adding more technologies. In step 3 here, we need to add security devices like ASA, Blue Coat, FortiGate. Those security devices usually sitting behind firewall or even among it, it depends on the design. So here, as you see now, we have Windows environment, Cisco environment, and even some third-party environment once we start using security devices. Okay, we can also create DMZ network, and DMZ network will allow me to provide services to people who they are outside my network. We are going to see how we can deploy such network technically and also how to provide right security measures for it. We can add more network in branch offices, like we can use a Linux branch office, and in there we will see how we are going to use Linux server with Linux workstation. And the most important part, how we are going to integrate that Linux branch office with a Windows office. We are going to see also how to deploy VoIP, voice over IP. Integrate the network which we have with Azure, because now Azure supports both Windows and Linux. So also we will see if I have a local network or a private cloud, this is what we call it. How can I move it to public cloud or create hybrid? Part of my devices or servers are running in Azure and other parts running home. This is what we need to check. And also we can reach to the level to start develop code to automate the network. How we can use Visual Studio, for example, with C#, C++, to write scripts, to write code, deploy applications, and those can be used to do tasks in my network. This is something also important, need to be learned once we reach to that level. And in number 9, we can develop code for Azure containers and even SharePoints with application program and interface if we need that. So as you see, when our approach is going to be like this is how you are going to increase your knowledge. You are not going to lose anything. There are no gaps in your learning. Once you study new technology, it is based on a solid background education you already have. And by this, you will reach to a professional level. I hope you had enjoyed this video. And this video is just to show you what is our learning approach. Thanks for watching.